Okay, hello, how are you? Today we're going to carry on a little bit. We've been looking at the present simple, and we're going to look at another present, but it's one that gets Arabic speakers quite nervous, because we're going to look at the present perfect. Alright, and we're not going to do it all today. This is just an introduction today. But we'll do an introduction today, and then over the next few days we'll look at some of the different uses of the present perfect. Why is the present perfect so much of a problem? Well, it's a problem because you don't have present perfect in Arabic. Past tense, even future tense, present tense, you can translate into Arabic. But present perfect, it doesn't exist in Arabic. So it's a bit of a difficult one to get your head around a bit. And the other thing that's difficult about it is it's not just one thing, it's not just one use. Past tense is easy. We use it to describe something that started and finished in the past. Easy. Present perfect, I have 4 different uses of the present perfect. 4 different times when you can use it. So again, it's not straightforward really. But what we're going to do, and this present perfect is the only time that I do this, okay? What we're going to do first is I'm going to introduce you to the form of the present perfect. And the reason I do that is because there are 4 different times to use it. We're going to start off with the form of it, and then we're going to go on a little bit, because I think one of the other problems I think we have, or that learners have with the present perfect, is that the books, the course books, and it's normally introduced about elementary B, the course books only introduce one use at a time. And I think it gets very confusing, because the first use that course books introduce is experience. Now that takes a little bit to work out what you mean by experience, and I said don't worry, because we'll talk about that a bit later. So the first thing that they introduce is the experience, and then there's an example in the book, and the student thinks, but that's not experience. So that's why now what I'm going to do is I'll introduce the form first, and then over the next few days we'll go through the 4 different uses that I put down for the present perfect. Okay? Might be different to some people, but I put down 4 different uses. Okay, so let's start off with the form. Okay, so we're looking at present perfect. So I'll give you an example, and then we'll go through and we'll look at the example. Okay. I did do it this morning. Okay, easy one there. I have washed my face. Actually, I had a shower, but never mind. I have washed my face. Okay, so 2 different parts of the present perfect. Okay, the first one, we use the verb to have as the helping or auxiliary verb. I say you can use it what you want. Okay, call it what you want, but whether you call it the helping verb or the auxiliary verb. So we've used the verb to do in negatives and questions for present simple. Okay, in the present perfect we use the verb to have, and it follows the same form as the verb to have normally. So it's I have, you have, we have, they have, he has, she has, and it has. Okay. Right, so that's the first thing. We have the verb to have as the helping verb. And then we have this wonderful thing here. And this is the other slight problem, I guess, with the present perfect. Okay? Because this is the main verb. Now the main verb, and again, I keep on apologising for this, poor people who try to learn English. But English is a mixture of lots of different languages, okay? So we have regular verbs and we have irregular verbs. In this main verb, for the regular forms, we use the ed form of the verb. So like in this case, we've got wash is the verb in the infinitive or the simple form. We've got the ed form of the verb here. Okay? So that's straightforward. Okay? But unfortunately, there are lots and lots of irregular verbs. Okay? And it's a bit like past simple. I'm sorry, but there's no rules with the irregular verbs. It's just another one of these things that you need to put into your head and remember. And I'm sorry about that. This is English. Okay? So we've got the main verb. If it's a regular verb, like this one, it's just an ed form of the verb. If it's an irregular verb, and there are lots of them, you have to look, and it's normally called the third form of the verb. Okay? That's what it's called. It's the third form of the verb, the irregular verb. It's not the past simple, it's the third form. Okay? So, that's it really. Oh, this is called, in this form, the main verb is called the past participle. Okay? Called the past participle. Right, okay, let's have another example. Same sort of thing really. I'll take these off. Okay, be very cultural here. She has cooked the food. And again, it's the same things. We have the subject here, then we have the auxiliary or the helping verb. In this case, because it's she has. And again, here we've got cooked. This is a regular verb, so it's cook with just the ed form on the end of it. Okay? I'll give you an example with an irregular verb. Okay? Again, he has, verb to have, yes? Seen here is an irregular verb. You know the verb seen, the verb to see. The verb to see, okay, in present simple. This is the verb to see. It's got three forms. See, I see you. See. Saw is the past form of the verb. And seen is the past participle of the verb. Okay, well it's near enough all we're going to do today. All I want to do now is just introduce the four, what I consider are the four different uses of the present perfect. And this is, don't worry about this now, because this is what we'll do over the next few days. Okay? Four different uses that I can. The first one is experience. The second one, I'm just trying to get them in the same order, I wrote them here, is change. The third one is a continuing situation. And the last one here, this is one of mine, and I don't know if there's a better way of writing this, but this is the way I write it, okay? It's an action in an unfinished time period. Okay? So, this is what we'll be doing over the next few days. I'll go through each one of these. We'll look at experience, present perfect, for experience, for change, for continuing situation, and for an action in an unfinished time period. We'll also look at a couple of other things. We'll look at for and since, and we'll look at some strange verbs like been and gone. Alright? Okay, so that's just an introduction. We'll carry on more tomorrow and the next few days. Thank you.